Hi, everyone. Wow, thank you. That's a very warm greeting. So, welcome. This is our Merrily We Roll Along day. Of course, I think you hopefully will all have the fabulous CD, which is autographed. I know. And we have the 6 fabulous stars here. This is going to be aired on SiriusXM. It's going to be edited. All my cursing is going to be cut. And then it's going to air later. But your reactions will be on air. So just the more you laugh at my quote-unquote jokes, the better. So I'd love to welcome these 6 amazing stars. Please welcome, he's an up-and-comer. Please be kind to him, Mr. Daniel Radcliffe. Please welcome, Jonathan Graff. That step is in the show relentlessly. Miss Lindsay Mendez. In full Gussie costume, Crystal Joy Brown. Look at that outfit. Look at that outfit. Another 3-name stunner, Katie Rose Clark. And our only French star, Reg Rogers. Please welcome. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow. Oh, no, okay. Everybody sit down. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Seth.
Hi, Linzilla. Okay, we're going to talk about this amazing show. My first question is one of the most, I think, famous overtures. I think they're like top 10 overtures. A lot of people list Merrily. When that overture is being played in that amazing apartment, which I want to rent, doesn't it look fabulous? And then the shades come down, don't look at us ever again. It's like great, isn't it? It's like Grey Gardens, the end. Anyway, what are you guys doing backstage during the overture? I really hope that there's a dance break, and I hope it's gonna make an Insta. Go, everybody.
I mean, go for it.
Yes, so you were commenting on my landing on this side, right? My Evita balcony that I have.
Her dressing room, she literally just comes out and she's just standing on her Casa Rosada. Go.
So I have a balcony, and if you're the leading lady in this theater, they call you the Lady of the Hudson. And they have this full photo series that like all the ladies of the Hudson have done. So Jonathan always makes sure to call me the Lady of the Hudson. So I have a Lady of the Hudson entrance during the Good Thing Going. I come out of my door, and I walk out onto the balcony, and whoever's down there applauds for me, and I do some sort of dance, different dance every night.
Different dance every night.
And then I cascade down the stairs. Yeah, it's like a full thing. I do it every show.
And then on the other side of the show, I'm normally there for Lady of the Hudson, so I clap, and then I run around to the other side where I actually make my entrance from. And we all do like a hands in on the final like trumpet stings of the thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is there anything else I'm missing?
And when my daughter's here, sometimes she stays for the overture, and we dance with her on the side. So we're all dancing with her.
She's the Lucy of the Hudson.
Yeah, my daughter's yeah.
Does everybody know that Lindsay's daughter is named Lucille? Are you allowed to say why she's named Lucille?
She's named Lucy after Lucille Ball. It's my favorite.
Isn't that great? And P.S. Lindsay, both my husband and I were watching it, and there's one, you give a full, don't you dare, you give a full Lucille Ball moment in the show.
Yes. I wouldn't know.
And we're obsessed with the overture. Okay, Reg, I need to talk to you. The original Merrily, Jason Alexander sang your track, as we call it. It was a solid 8 bars. And now in this version, I've like never seen someone featured more. How did you get the role expanded? Were you just constantly rehearsing going, I think I should, and just kept shoving yourself into scenes?
No, that's the script.
Probably
that's the script.
Did you know the role was amazing when you auditioned for it, or were you like, I don't want to audition for something that only has 8 bars?
Oh, no, I thought 8 bars was right up my alley.
It's your signature?
Yeah, it's my wheelhouse.
Every night.
He can do a lot with 8 bars, I will tell you that much.
Every night also, at the end of the prologue, me and Reg come off and look at each other and go, why do they make us both sing that really high note? Why do they put us on that?
Although, I noticed there is some high note switching in our time, because normally Charlie's on top, and I noticed Graf was on top. Am I correct, Graf?
Probably. We didn't intentionally switch it. I think it...
No, when you do It's Our Head
Yes.
on the Block, it's sometimes Charlie.
Oh, I didn't know that. I will say about Reg, though, that Reg makes a meal of this role in a way that is so specific to Reg.
Incredible.
It's like we all of us comment endlessly about the epic comedic brilliance that Reg brings to this part. It's unmatched.
Yeah. And Reg knows as well that he can make me laugh at literally any point on stage that he likes, and the fact that he chooses not to all the time is a real kindness to me.
Laugh means laugh, right?
Exactly. Yes.
I can't understand what he's saying.
God, I'm stealing that later every time.
It's so rude on my part. All right, so Crystal, I need to talk to you. So you went from a show that really was not selling tickets, Hamilton, to this. I mean, what's it like to sort of be like, from now on, I'm only going to do hit shows? Like, what is the difference between doing Hamilton, which, by the way, Groff, you were also in, which was a crazy rock concert, to doing this, which is the rock concert, but for Sondheim? Like, whoever thought the audience would be like, wow, for like, good thing going. Go.
Okay, let's just manifest that is the trajectory of my life.
Sure.
So yes, I now only do tickets that sell very, very high, shows that sell very, very high, and work with the best. That would be lovely. No, coming from Hamilton and coming into the show was a big adjustment, because Eliza is very, very different from Gussie. I'm not sure if you are familiar with the two characters. And so that was a big leap, but I'm just happy to be a part of work that people really respond to and connect with, and that we get to be a part of this show that gets a second life. That feels really, really special.
And I guess, well, two things I want to say. What's Gussie's real name? It's sort of revealed by Reg.
Shirley Akinola.
That's what I thought. Because I was thinking, you played Eliza, but in that final scene, you're very, and Shirley. Yeah. Like, you're such a clunk, right? Such a
she's very
clunkious.
Aunt Peggy energy. That is definitely what we're doing.
Isn't it? That's what I kept thinking. It's like, and Shirley. Please add that.
100%.
And Shirley. Isn't it? I need the shirt.
I have a really bad feeling that I'm going to get a shirt that says "and Shirley"
I'm
very, very
begging you.
soon.
I'm begging
I
you
can
to
see the wheels turning in Jonathan's head.
I'm just saying. Okay, so I want to talk about the director, Maria Friedman, who was literally, I know. So she was a star of Merrily in London. She directed this, and then she also produced, which is very rare for a director, the cast album that you all have. So I guess my first question, Lindsay, was she like, this is how I did it, now you know, and just constantly...
How did you know? Yes.
Yeah, no, I saw your private post.
No, she was really, she really came and let me have my way with it. And I mean, I think the thing that she did bring is she felt so strongly that like Mary was equal to the boys. And I think the script doesn't really reflect that so much, but that was really, really important to her, and so I think it plays in the show, you know, that way.
My question is, because I saw it in London. I didn't see it when it first came out on Broadway because I was too young, but I didn't. And also, I was busy those 2 weeks. Anyway, but the point is, I love that show. Oh. I went there. No, but by the way, I'm obsessed. I was obsessed with that album. But my point is, I don't remember Mary being so clearly in love with Frank. Like, I don't remember that in the script. Was that in the original script? I don't remember ever seeing that.
I've never seen the original script, so I don't know.
Are you one of those, like, I didn't see the movie, it's my own interpretation? You never saw the original script?
I am that person.
I don't have a TV. Don't have a
TV. Yeah.
Does anybody know, because Reg, you're the first one that says it. It's like, or second, you're like, you know, everyone knows that they're having an affair, and does everyone know that you're in love with Frank? Do you know, was that added? Does anybody know? By the way, you're not Body Mites. I know that. In real life, you are. Okay, go.
I'm sorry, I just don't know. I kind of wanted their voices to be the voices in my head. So
What does Reg think, John? Anyway, no, but did you know that if that was added for her being in love?
I mean, Sondheim famously said that in Opening Doors, it's the most personal thing he wrote. It's him, Hal Prince, and Mary Rogers.
Yes,
I just finished Shy, her memoir, and in that book, Mary Rogers talks about being in love with Sondheim for her whole life, basically. And to the point where at one point, even though he was gay and she was straight, they tried sleeping in the same bed together to see if they could make it work.
Probably worked out, right?
And I think that, I imagine that it was, because that line, you know, I just met the girl I ought to marry.
Oh my God, we were all devastated in the audience when that happened.
Has, I think, always been there. And I think that whether or not it was changed or modified through the scripts through the years, certainly I feel, Lindsay and I have talked about this a lot, that like, there is a lot of Mary Rogers, Sondheim. Mary Rogers also had an affair with Hal Prince, a couple. Not affair, but
Spoiler alert.
They were together, yes. If you're gonna read Shy, or if you haven't read Shy. They were also, so there's a lot of kind of relationship, incestuous, love, young people energy laced throughout the script. It's very personal, feels very personal to them regardless of it being literally that in the script, but certainly the energy of Mary and Hal and Steve are in the
Dan,
writing.
tell them what you told me about
No.
about the rooftop scene when I come out.
Oh, wait, what did I tell you? Oh, no. That's for us to know.
Damn it.
That's like a little bit of
Sorry,
Charlie
everybody.
backstory that's absolutely not. That's not.
Lindsay, what did he say? Exactly. Well, okay, hold on one second, because you're talking about this trio. I want to talk to Katie for a second, because Katie Rose Clark, by the way, who I knew as crazy super soprano when she was in the Piazza, is full beltress in this and also comedian. But
And soprano. She's giving
okay,
both.
off my back.
She's giving
But
everything.
I knew that
Katie
she'd be a
Rose Clark.
soprano. But my point is, what is it like? I feel you have to wait backstage for so long. Is it annoying?
No, I love it. I have 3 kids at home, so it's my downtime during the day. I mindlessly scroll. I kind of have a little moment. I sit on a heating pad, I do all the grandma things
Read a
that
lot
one
of
wants
books.
to do. And
Geritol.
actually, I was also Ellen in Miss Saigon, and that's a similar track where I wait 45 minutes before my first entrance in that show
This
as
is
well.
her wheelhouse.
Yeah, this is kind of where I've carved out. This is my niche, actually.
So Reg is 8 bars, Crystal is only hits, your 45-minute break before
I need
entrance.
I need to kick up my feet backstage. But I did Glinda for a long time, so I feel like I earned that.
Well, let me ask you,
Whatever.
was it hard to be considered for the role because they were all like, you're a sopraniac, and you're like, no, I can sing lower?
Yeah, so I actually had to ask for an audition, and I talked to Lindsay about it, and yeah, I called my agent and manager and said, I want to be seen for Merrily. I don't know what role, but I want to be seen. So I actually had to advocate for myself to get an audition.
P.S. Brava.
Oh yeah, and I was 9 months pregnant.
Before
Did
we
you
go
guys
into
hear
our-
that she was 9 months pregnant when she auditioned for this role?
And you had to
having
literally name your kid
contractions.
Frank just to fit in? But wait, hold on, let me ask you something, because I'm thinking about advocating. Lindsay Mendez, can you tell everybody, because I am fascinated with auditioning and why people get it and they didn't have a second chance. Can you talk about your first thing with Joe Mantello when they were like, we are not interested?
Yeah, that happens to me literally all the time.
Oh,
I
good
always
to
get
know.
told no, and then months later, they're like, oh, what's your name again? We'll see her. For Dogfight, I went in and auditioned for the whole team except Joe Mantello, who wasn't there.
Yeah.
And they were like, thank you so much for coming. There's the door. And I left. And then Joe is a good friend of Seth's and watched an interview that Seth did with me on his show for Godspell. And Joe was like, get me that girl.
And I thought he meant me, but he actually, because I went in, Lady of the Hudson. No,
Yes.
so
And then he called me back in, and they were like, we already saw her. She's not right. And he said, I want to see her. And I went in, and I got the job. And the same thing happened with Carousel. I went in for the whole team except Jack O'Brien, and they said, thank you so much for coming. Months later, they called me back in, and I went in, and I did my audition.
Yeah, but that didn't work out. Oh wait, Tony Award.
and then I got the job the same day.
Wow.
Wait, A, that's an amazing story. B, what have you recently not gotten so we know what you're gonna get in 6 months? Go. It's the only way to do the math. Okay, I feel like we need to cut to our first song, and we'll edit out this bullshit. What do you think I should cut to, Julie James? By the way, this is Julie James in the wings. The queen of SiriusXM. Should I just say we're gonna hit our first song, and then we'll put it in post as we say in the business? Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so like I said, you all have this amazing CD. It is autographed. This is basically the ultimate Merrily recording. Because by the way, it's so many new songs that aren't on the original. I guess before we go into this first song, to me, I love theater because you can crack and who cares? I mean, maybe it's on YouTube. But when you're actually in the studio, how much were you guys freaking out during this recording? I see a lot of nodding. Reg is
Yes,
I only had
yeah.
8 bars. Katie, you were panicking.
I was panicking, yeah. I was very nervous.
Is this your first recording?
No, I did that smash hit, Allegiance, if you haven't heard it. It was on Broadway for 2 months. That was my only other cast recording. But also, I was nervous for that too. But yeah, this was a very
studio is so different than live theater, and I don't have very much experience in that, so yeah.
Why? What do you think is different about it?
Exactly what you said. I feel like there's a lot, and there's so many different elements, and it's so in the moment, and the audience brings something to the moment for you as well. And so when you're in the studio, all that feels stripped bare, and it's just, now I have to really only be worried about my voice, is what I felt.
Crystal, anxiety attack?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we also started recording the album the Sunday night of opening week.
Oh, so your voices were. Wait a minute.
We did a matinee, and then we went to the studio.
Yeah, and then we went to the studio and did most of our solos. Yeah. And then we did the rest the next day. And then we begged for one more day to do it. Lindsay was perfect, so she didn't have to do it again. But the rest of us were like, can we please do some like touch-ups. But yeah, it's a really, really quick process. And you probably have about an hour and a half to cover your whole material.
Were you all singing together, or was it like, so you were all singing together? It wasn't like one. Do you all know when the original Merrily was recorded? It was the day after it closed. Yes. Yeah. So that's why everyone was like basically devastated. Jonathan Groff, were you tense? You're like, whatever, I've done a million albums.
No, I made the mistake. I thought it would be a great idea on Sunday night to watch the documentary of the recording of Company. Again,
and he told me to watch it. We watched it together.
Yeah. And I was like, Lindsay and Dan, I was texting them. I was like, oh my God, you guys, I'm at home and I'm about to start watching this. I feel like it'll be such a good tee up for our, and inspiring. And there's George Firth, who wrote the book for Company, right. and he wrote the book for Merrily, and there he is in the documentary. And then all the close-ups of the anxiety of these amazing, amazing performers. And then I'm losing my voice right now just thinking about Elaine Stretch being like, we're gonna do it like we do it the key in the theater, it's gonna be, up the key. And then I was so tense. I didn't sleep, I'm such a good sleeper. It was like all of the anxiety from the Company documentary went into my body. And I was like, oh my God, we're recording the bigness, by the way, because it's a huge deal for all of us as huge Sondheim fans. To come back and record Merrily We Roll Along? Like, what? Like, we're gonna lay this down in the studio forever? And so which is just, you shouldn't be thinking about that the night before you record or when you go into the studio. So I came in tight. And freaked, but then we were in separate booths, and we could look at each other through the booths. And Maria, our director, was there, and she was like, look at each other and play and have fun and roll with it. And then all of a sudden, connected back to like what we do every night on stage. And because like Maria has made the experience so personal for all of us and the way that we connect with each other, that the bigness of what a big deal it is that we're doing this revival of Merrily 42 years later. We were able to kind of leave that at the stage door and come in and connect with this show so personally. And the key of it really is the relationships that we all have with each other. So once I got in the booth and I was like, okay, and I looked over and then there was Dan through the glass and then there was Lindsay and we could do our like dumb dances and like laugh and LOL. Whew, my shoulders went down, and it was a much more enjoyable experience.
By the way, I want to hire you as my guru. I've never heard a more soothing speaking voice. That's A.
Thank you so much, Seth. Thank you so much.
One of the things I learned from the Company documentary is that everyone should be smoking. So did you start
yeah,
these?
Right.
Never. The trombonist. Anywho. Oh my God. All right, well, let's hear how amazing that album came out. Put it in post. Still got it. Okay, so that's the Merrily We Roll Along album. Fantastic. Okay, I want to talk about some of the dancing in the show, which I know you're going to say, there's not that much dancing. Okay, first of all, Crystal.
Yep.
The crazy battement that you do, were you like special skills, driver's license, battement? Like, how did they know that the kick was going to be that high?
We were just trying to figure out what to do, and we were just messing around. We were like just kind of feeling it out, and we were looking at videos of different performers of that time, and so we were just kind of like, what is this? And I was like, you know, I can kick. And I was like, I was like, what if I did this? Da-da, da. And they were like, okay. Yeah, put it in the show. And then I realized now I've done it 210 times.
Well, you're supposed to be on the other side because that's how you can get injured is by not having it
Well,
even.
no, so backstage, I do the kick actually 3 times, and then I do a really crazy stretch. And Bill does the drums for me on the fake piano. Yeah, that's what's happening in the beginning of Back 2. And I'm stretching like crazy. And also one of the things that to start the show, I do after we all do hands in is I go to the side and I do my splits, and I do the splits in every direction, which I also did in Hamilton, and I don't know why it's the thing that I do, but I think that that's essential at this point.
Is your understudy...
Left and right, balance.
But is your understudy Natalie like, motherfucker, like constantly... fuming?
She's been stretching. I heard that she's been working on it. She's been stretching, and I have full confidence that moment will be epic.
She's in traction, but she's stretching. Okay, more kicking. Bobby and Jackie and Jack. Jonathan Groff, the Bob Mont was unbelievable.
I do alternate legs.
You do?
Yes,
Crystal style,
I do
good for
alternate
you.
legs, yeah, on that.
healthy.
And thank you, Seth.
I was very impressed. Is it always super high or is one leg 20 degrees?
You came on Sunday, right? Or
Yes.
Saturday? Yeah.
Sunday matinee.
So Tim Jackson, our amazing choreographer, he was like, Jonathan, you should kick not so high because you're Frank. And Frank is a composer. He's doing this thing at the downtown club, but he's not an actor. So keep your kick low. And I was like, oh my God, you're so right. But then in the last month, I've just felt really kicking high. I just felt inspired. So I'm sorry, Tim.
He was a dance captain,
Yes.
Jonathan has been dance captain.
In my life, anybody remember that hit?
Silence!
In my life, anybody? Nobody?
I saw it.
That was the name of a show.
I saw it.
So here's a crazy thing. The opening night party of In My Life, which was my Broadway debut, I was Christopher Hankey's understudy, an offstage swing, and the dance captain. Only because there has to be a dance captain, equity rules.
For Everyday Rapture.
Wait, say that into the mic.
I was the dance captain for Everyday Rapture. So.
3/4 of the show with
In
no
My
dancing.
Life, In My Life opening night party. So this was 20 years ago in 2005 that In My Life opened on Broadway. And the opening night party was in the Hudson. Was in this
Oh my
theater.
God.
Full
Yeah.
circle.
That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy? Because it wasn't redone yet to be a theater that you could perform in. It was a venue. Yeah, an event space. Yeah. So I had the opening night party of In My Life. Silence. In this theater.
It's so full circle.
Yeah.
I was the dance captain for Iceman Coming.
Get it right.
And they were like, stop kicking so high. The bartender would kick. What about Lindsay Mendez, your amazing sight tendu?
Oh, thank you so much.
I noticed.
Yeah.
Lindsay's a genuinely great dancer.
Yeah, Lindsay's got skills.
Thanks, Tan. Yeah, I keep us together. Yeah.
Nice line. And Daniel Radcliffe, I've never seen such a high saute. When you jump in the air, it's literally 7 feet above your actual height. So what is that? Is that because you weigh 110? How do you get...
Yeah, it's easy to jump that high when you're little. I go,
I can't believe it.
Thank you so much. I'm irrationally proud of that jump, so thank
It's
you.
unbelievable. No, both my husband and I were like, what is
It also
happening?
helps that, I get you're down there, I'm up here, it makes it look even bigger. It's great. It's a lot going for me in that jump.
It's super impressive.
Sometimes I mistime it and there's a very awkward silence afterwards where we wait for the band to kick back in because I've done it wrong.
It's incredible. And Kate, I wouldn't say you dance, but there's a lot of modern happening, which I love.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, it's my own interpretation. Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask you guys, Sondheim is notorious for crazy lyrics, but, Send in the Clowns is slow. But there's always one song, like The Miller's Son. So everyone I feel in this show has a panicky song. So my question is, Lindsay, were you ever okay, this and that, okay, that and this, okay, this and that and that and this, I don't know, ganky gunk.
Yeah, I panic about it quite often.
Do you rehearse it backstage Crystal style, both sides?
No, I don't. I don't ever rehearse, but
Have you ever had a Sondheim blank?
not yet, Seth. Thanks so
Well,
much.
do you think tonight's the night? I'm wondering if tonight is the night.
I'll call you. I'll let you know. No, I definitely panic when it starts. I'm just like, do I know these words? Because if I don't, like, goodbye. I mean, what happens? Do you do that with Franklin Shepherd?
That's what I'm wondering. Franklin Shepherd, it's so scary.
I do rehearse it all the time backstage before it happens, but I've never gone wrong on a lyric. I had one moment when we were downtown that I screwed up something musically, and it was the longest 30 seconds of my life, because I got like behind the band by like half a second, and I could not find my way back to the place I was supposed to be in the song.
The conductor wasn't in front of you?
No, he was up there.
He's in the apartment.
And the shades are down, Great Garden style. Right? So you can't even...
But other than that, and that was enough to terrify me into making sure that never happened again. But it's also like, it's a huge joy of it, is to do that. Like, it's so exciting doing that song like every night, and there is a sense of, can I do this every time? And the thrill of actually doing it every time is something that sort of takes you over halfway through it, or at some point in it. I don't think you've definitely never gone wrong.
About opening doors.
Oh, I had a mess up, yeah.
Oh God, this was my worst Broadway moment on stage.
That was your worst Broadway moment.
Like, because I fell apart, because I was gone. I couldn't sing the rest of the number.
It was just before the four people all together.
We say, "What? You're not serious? Nobody's ready," and he's supposed to say,
No, what are you supposed to say?
Apparently somebody canceled the booking?
Yep.
Yes.
Why do I know it, Jonathan?
You didn't even say that many
and we
syllables.
go, "What? You're not serious? Nobody's ready."
And then the rest of us were just in silence for a second, and then Lindsay, thank God, realized where we were and said the next line.
You can't be in silence. The music is going, so you skipped a whole line after that.
Oh, yeah.
The songs aren't. You didn't
Yes,
speak.
I did not speak.
I said, and what about costumes? And then we all just were like,
how do I learn all these numbers?
We couldn't get past it.
And then the song ended with it's
we were like,
supposed to be
we
four
haven't
people
got
singing. It was just Jonathan
None
on
of
his
us
own
sing. I
singing
think it
the
was
last
only
note.
Jonathan who could sing time, but he was doing it in falsetto.
In a mix,
So it was a
solid
weak mix,
No
sad
vibrato.
mix, and the three of us gone. We haven't got time.
It was not our best.
It was bad.
Sorry if you were there.
It was a
that day.
Sunday show, yeah.
Jonathan, do you know
and
why
everyone
that
backstage
happened?
is just looking up at the monitors
You were listening?
what is going on
So
over
bad.
there?
All of those songs, like Franklin Shepherd and very much opening doors for me as well, like they both have that quality of if you stop to think like, oh, they did that line differently, or oh, I said that. Like, if you stop for a moment to think about what even comes next, it's too late. And you're like, and I've definitely reached the point in the run where if you ask me out of context what any line is, I could not tell you, but if we just do it, it comes out.
John, did you know why you messed up? Or you'd be like, do I want pasta tonight? Were you thinking?
No, it was like, there was like an energetic, I was there, and I was looking at Lindsay, and then suddenly it was my line. It's happening so fast. But
Also, his face, though, was like, what? Like, because we were all looking at, like, he was like,
Yeah.
like, it was like,
I was kind of like, who forgot their line?
it's like, what's happening?
It's so weird. Everybody's normally so in it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's me!
It was like that.
Realization.
Literally.
I don't want to say
yeah,
that happened before, but Spring Awakening, a certain letter?
You got the thanks, that one?
Walking up, and you always read the letter, and they were like, oh, let's just give you a blank letter tonight?
I can't believe you remember that
Oh,
story.
I retain that kind of crap. Go.
Yeah, I had like, Melchior would receive these letters from Wendla, and I would read them on my chair on the wall, and I never memorized them because they were written there, and it would be like, Dear Melchior, blah, 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 blah. I'm remembering it now. And the letter got passed, whatever, and then I got it, and it was like, fling, and it was the wrong letter. And I was like, Dear Melchior. Oh, no. I hope that we'll be together, we'll be alone. It's really bad.
It's all
I
good.
should have memorized that letter.
Maybe for the revival. Okay, so I'm obsessed with so much of the music in this show, but I grew up listening to it. Was Merrily new to you all? Were you like, not a day goes by on the piano, or like, did you know it? Like, who is it newest to? Reg Rogers.
Had to be me.
I mean, I think I was fair. I mean, I saw the same production. Sorry. I saw the...
Jenna Russell?
I saw that production in London, and I loved it, but I didn't have any, like... It wasn't one of the ones my parents had, like, played in the car growing up. I certainly didn't know the history of the show in any way.
So how did you get the gig?
Well,
Open call, I assume.
Yeah. I mean, Maria Friedman contacted me about it and about whether I would want to do it, because I'd seen her at the show when I went and saw it, and I guess had, like... You know, I certainly wouldn't have been walking backstage being like, I want to play Charlie one day. But I, you know, she was obviously could pick up on the fact that I liked it, and so they asked me about it. But weirdly enough, when I was first doing singing lessons, like a long time ago before How to Succeed, one of the first songs I ever sung with my singing teacher was Good Thing Going, because he asked me, he was just like, this is a great song, you should sing it, which is really bizarre and amazing to be singing it
Wait,
now.
so Hudson Theater, opening night party, Good Thing Going, voice lesson. Anyone else have a weird psychic connection? Katie was Clark in Houston. Well, your character lives in Houston. You're from Houston.
Yeah, I'm from Houston. Do you know what is weird, though, that this just occurred to me, was that Lindsay and I saw the documentary together in the movie theater. It was
That's
the
right.
one and
We've
only
literally
movie.
never gone in the movies together. The one movie we've ever seen together was the
best, worst
worst
thing-
thing that could have ever happened.
Yeah.
On like a random afternoon.
Yeah.
And you weren't like, one day we will.
No,
No.
not even. It was not on the radio.
And Crystal, when you were doing Hamilton, because so many
When I
people-
read the material for the audition, I was like, uh-oh. Because it said, I've been in 5 Broadway shows. And I was like, I've been in 5 Broadway shows. There were just so many things that were like, I actually, how this came about for me was that I saw an article that Dan had connected himself to this show, and I was like, I screenshot it and I sent it to my agents, and I was like, I want to be in stuff like this. I don't know what Merrily We Roll Along is, but I want to be working with people like this, and I want to be working on stuff like this. I want to do Sondheim, I want to do this. And I sent it to them, and then a few months later, I got an audition for it, and I didn't even know the story, and I didn't know if there was a role for me or anything. But then I got the audition for Gussie, and I was filming a movie, so I sent in a tape, and then they had me call back and send in another tape, and then they're like, well, the director is from England, and she's very old school, and she like can't hire you without being in person. So, you know, we think that you're the choice, but unfortunately we have to go another way. And then a few months later, kind of similar to the story we said before, I got a call back, and basically I had an hour audition with Jonathan in the room, and it never has felt more right. Like, I've never had an audition like that. We're laughing, we're crying. I have known Jonathan, and, you know, we've been in the world of each other for a long time, but I'd never had like any moments of like, you know, true like connection with you. And that hour was just like the most amazing hour of my life. And I walked out, and Carnahan was like, well, if you didn't book this, I don't know. And I was like, okay. He's like, we'll call you tomorrow or today or sometime soon. And I was like, great. And I was just ecstatic. But yeah, I hadn't really known the show, but I just kind of like knew that something about it was special.
you literally petitioned your agent, I want to do a show like this.
I did.
So I want to talk about the album for 2 seconds. Favorite musical moment, Reg. You actually have my favorite joke in the show, which is literally so passive aggressive. I'll let you know when Stravinsky has a hit. It's so obnoxious. I'm obsessed with it as a classical music major. Okay, so go. What's your favorite musical moment?
I actually just found my...
I'm begging you to use the microphone.
I cleared out a storage container, a Manhattan mini storage, and it had my albums from when I was a kid. And I played them on my turntable from when I was a kid in Pennsylvania yesterday. And the album was Jesus Christ Superstar from the movie soundtrack. But apparently I don't recall this, but apparently I had ruined the album cover. So I then took my Jungle Book double album and got rid of that album and then covered it with paper and drew Jesus Christ Superstar with 2 P's and drew the whole thing, like everything I knew about from seeing the movie. And then sang along. I usually sang with the 8-track of the original
old school.
With my mother in my father's bathrobe and played all the parts.
So you've always wanted to do musicals?
No.
And then, I'm speaking for you. You've always wanted to do musicals. Wait a minute, so you were singing along as a kid, but you're like, not that I ever want to do this, I'm just singing along, man.
Yeah, it was my introduction to Christianity. So I was learning. It was more of a learning thing. like, oh, so Pilot did that. I get it.
That really took a left.
Noted. Katie Rose Clark, let's focus on Merrily for just a moment. You get to sing, I think it's the most popular song from the show, which is Not a Day Goes By. I knew that song before I knew the show because I had the Carly Simon album. Did you know the song beforehand and were you like, oh my God, I get to sing it?
Yeah, I knew the song before I knew the show, for sure. Yeah, and it's felt like one of those songs that could have a lot of pressure on it. So I remember my audition really just trying to release myself from that. And but you can't. I mean, it is just that song. And it was that song for me. And I wasn't really sure if everybody felt that way about this particular song, but the more I've talked to people, the more I realize that is the song from the show. So yeah, 100%.
It's the On My Own of Merrily. You know what I mean? It's
really
like the
is.
devastating.
Wow, that's good, yeah.
And then what's your favorite moment, Miss Gussie?
Oh, I love The Blob, even though I have messed up those lyrics many a time. I love The Blob. I love when we're all together, and I love just hearing them all blob and snarl and shake and wiggle next to me is really fun. Like, the ensemble is just going in, and it's a really funny, fun moment. So I love that. It's really, like, playful and it's like the moment that the show is like, pretty campy. I mean,
it's also cool because if people
drop.
know the original album, there's no blob. So it's so great to have this album because you get this. Does anyone even know, was that added to the show or was it in the original and taken out? Like, where's the blob from? Anybody? It's very Rich Man's Frug.
I feel like they just kept, retooling and building over the course of like 30, 40 years. So,
And Maria Freeman was like, pick, choose,
Yeah.
and like got the quintessential version. Lindsay Mendez, what's your favorite moment to sing in the show or listen to in the show?
Oh, God, I don't know.
What's your amazing E? Hold on, I really wrote down your great placement.
I
Oh,
can't.
that's obscene. I was so impressed that you're not, instead of that's obscene, like your eval was so pure, brava.
Thank you. It's giving mix. Oh God, I don't know if I have it tonight. I love our numbers together. I love doing Old Friends. I love doing Our Time. Our Time's probably my favorite. I really love doing that song.
Speaking of old friends, though, you guys are also close. Can't you not close in July so you could just stay friends forever?
You think we're not gonna be friends after this?
Yeah, we can still.
I haven't spoken to anybody. I mean, have you spoken to your In My Life cast in years, Jonathan? No. Jonathan drops people.
We had a How to Succeed reunion just the other day. It can happen.
That's nice to know. All right, Grafi, what's your favorite moment to sing or listen to in the show?
Oh my God.
And you listen to the album, you're one of those like, I can't listen.
I haven't listened to the whole thing. I really haven't.
It's really good.
Okay, great. Wait, quick sidebar trivia about the Stravinsky line that you love.
Love it.
This was like maybe 4 days ago. I was watching on YouTube. This is my toxic trait, watching videos on YouTube. As
I
all of
named
these-
it. I
you
called
named
it.
Crystal was like, I think that's your toxic trait. I was like, it is. I'm just pounding hummus and watching YouTubes alone in my apartment.
Wait, hummus by itself or carbs in the hummus?
Hummus with like a blue chip.
Blue chip?
Just one. Single.
It's so diet. That's why the mont's so high. There's no fat. Okay, continue.
So I'm pounding hummus, and I'm watching YouTube, and I'm watching an interview with Sondheim about Jerome. It was like they were interviewing him about Jerome Robbins, and they were asking about the journey of the show West Side Story. And he said they were trying to find a producer for the show. And George Abbott was one of the people that they went to, who was a famous producer, also sometimes a director. And he told them, when they played him the music, that he didn't understand this Stravinsky music that they were writing for this musical.
It's such an FU in the
And
lyrics.
yes, and I was like, oh my God. That's what that's like layered in there. It's like so personal for them. Anyway, since
Oh
you
my
called
God,
out that
I love
joke.
that.
Like It Was is my favorite song.
Me too.
Lindsay singing Like It Was. I hear it every day in the dressing room.
I have a low voice.
By the way, that's Lindsay. Every time she's ever in a Broadway show, she's belting E's. Every time we do a concert, she's like, yeah, I can only do I'm Not the Girl at the final note. That's all I have. I'm like, you're a belter. I have a low voice. You do not have a low voice. So annoying.
Drag her, Seth, drag her.
I can't take it. Well, Danny Radcliffe, I have two questions. First of all, your favorite musical moment, but then I have a follow-up. Go.
I'm sorry to steal the answer, but like it was as well, I get to be on stage for it every night. I love watching her sing. It's such a beautiful song, and just like, it also like is amazing for me to start my show by watching Lindsay do that, because it just reminds me of everything that the relationship, it just reminds me of what the whole show is about, which is good, because I forget every night. Yeah, so that would be my favorite. But there are truly a bunch. Like I love like being in like a 5-part harmony in It's a Hit at one point, which is just something I never thought I'd do in a Sondheim show. Like I never thought I would be singing that. I think me and Reg have discussed how like it being in a 5-part harmony in a Sondheim show was not something that either of us thought we would ever do. So it's very exciting to be in it. And yeah, even in
Well, I'm gonna play one of your favorite songs right now from the album. Put it in post, because I don't know what the hell we're gonna cut to exactly. Holy cow, that was great. Yes, do it. This is our last segment. I know. Julie. I was kidding, it's not her fault. Okay, so here's my follow-up question. Hey, everyone, that was amazing. Here's my follow-up. So, Danny Radcliffe, by the way, I've always wanted to do a cabaret act of like amazing songs that have someone else on stage just staring. So, what is it like while Lindsay's always singing like it was? I mean, I know you said it's beautiful, but aren't you sort of like, maybe like I want to go pee?
No, I start the show. I come on for the opening number, and then I have like a 20-minute break. So I've peed.
Katie style.
Yeah, exactly. And no, I love just watching Lindsay. And I got a couple of lines I have to remember to say. So I stay engaged.
It's good to know. And Jonathan Groff, Franklin Shepherd Inc., you're glaring the whole time. I guess my question is the glare, is it B. Arthur from Maude or B. Arthur from Golden Girls?
I can't.
It's definitely B.
That's for me to know and the audience to find out. Yeah, it's funny, Frank in the show, it gets the gift, truly the gift, of being able to watch and listen throughout a lot of it. A lot of the show, he's like listening and engaged but not speaking, which I've learned so much about the repression of that character and the what he's holding inside and his inability in certain ways to fully express himself. Learned so much about Frank in that. But like getting to sit next to Dan and watch him give basically a musical theater masterclass in Franklin Shepherd Inc. Someone, right? Getting to watch Katie Rose sing Not a Day Goes By, that makes me cry every single day. And every person in our show, every cast member in our show, from like the beginning to the end of the show. I had a friend that came, Crystal and I's friend Patrick, who's the associate director of Hamilton. So he's put like so many people into Hamilton over the last 8.5, 9 years. And he was like, I cannot believe that this show has had an off-Broadway run. You're now in the 6th month of your run. And every face of every person on that stage is so engaged and so committed and so fresh and so invested. And it's a testament to the company as a whole and what they've built, and also to this just unbelievable material. Like, it is such a gift to get to perform these songs, and whether you're singing them or even just I'm listening to Lindsay in the dressing room, sing like it was, or watching people on stage, it's just like the gift of a lifetime for all of us to be just swimming in the brilliance of this material. It's amazing.
But does it enrage you like it does me that these amazing songs were in 1981, and back then it was like, we're leaving after Act 1, we hate this show. Don't you go like, to everybody in the 80s, I was not around back then, I was not born yet, but to the people, but doesn't it piss you off that the music is so good and now people are like, turns out it's amazing?
Yeah, I find it really weird the way people talk about the book for this show as well. I find the book, like, there's some such brilliant thing, and like the way people talk about, like, oh, it went backwards and that didn't work. It's like, it works brilliantly going backwards. Like, you get these, you get some moments that are tricky because you get a character introduced and you have to immediately invest in them. But like, if you cast brilliant people, then that works. That's great. And then you get all these amazing reveals as it goes backwards, and they're sort of, and you can feel the audience like connecting with those moments in a way that you just wouldn't if it was. Yeah, I'm similarly mystified by the fact that it has.
I'm enraged. You're the more British. It's a British style. Mystified. Yeah, I'm enraged. I'm like the Jewish anger. Okay. Lindsay Mendez, I feel like you're some musical theater. Did you grow up listening to this album?
No, I didn't. This wasn't one of the ones like that was in my Sondheim rep. Like, so I didn't know the show very well at all. I knew some of the songs because like just being here, but I really didn't know, and I didn't know Mary. Like I didn't know this character. I really, no, it was brand new for me to meet Maria and like to do this with these guys.
What's the hardest thing to sing in the show? Because a lot of times things that we think are hard are not, but the person on stage is like, this is hard. Like, what's the hardest thing for you to sing?
Probably Now You Know, just because of the like aerobics of it, because it's so fast and there's no breath ever. That's probably the hardest for me. But it's not even hard. I mean, that's the thing about this music is like, it's natural. It feels like breathing. There's no, I'm never like, how do I sound? Like, I don't care. The lyric is so good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, clearly. It's always like so active, and the lyric is so good that I get completely lost in it, and I'm never thinking I have to sound any way. I just have to like commit to the story I'm telling, and that's a testament to how good the
What was
material
the same
is.
thing with Mooning in Greece?
Shut up.
Okay. Hold on, Katie Rose Clark, I actually wrote down, speaking of Sondheim, you literally have a quintuple rhyme. It's literally baloney, phony, stony, Sony, sponsoring us today, and Tony. You get a Sondheim quintuple rhyme.
Where is that?
Okay,
It's a hit.
you play the
What song is
wife
that?
of Jonathan.
Oh, right.
And yeah, it's a
Yes,
hit.
that part. Okay. And
I'm so in the moment, I don't even know I'm
rhyming.
rhyming, I'm just acting. Wait, but isn't that amazing that you feel like you don't feel so Sondheimian at that moment?
I feel so Sondheimian in that moment. And I'm like, where do I breathe? I don't want to mess up this quintuple rhyme. I think it every single night.
You thought quintuple rhyme every time?
Every night I think, this is the quintuple rhyme. I can't mess it up.
Well, now you're gonna be, tonight you better beware. Reg, when did you decide to add your amazing diction on Combine? Duh.
Oh my God.
That was an accident. I used to do a different thing, and it just got old, and then this thing just came up. I don't know how.
And now it is, I love it. I would love you guys to like, what's the word, like pre-do it. So it was like Combine, you're like, duh, and then like totally ruin his, just for one, like the Actors Fund show, anybody? Back me up on that. Okay, so I know we have to, on the sort of wrap it up side, let me ask the three of you, if you could trade roles, which role would you be? So Lindsay, would you rather be Graffy or Radcliffe?
Oh, I'd definitely rather be Dan. I'd rather be Charlie.
Radcliffe?
For sure.
Graff, would you rather be Linz?
I'm a homosexual, so obviously I'm Mary.
Just want to clarify. So that means...
I'd be Mary as well, I think. Yeah.
Did you just come out?
Yes.
No, I would just like I would like to like your songs I would like to sing. I'd be so bad at your songs. No one wants to hear me sing growing up. Like I would just be. I watch you every night do that, and I'm like, how are you doing that? That seems so hard to me what you do in that song, and it's just brilliant. And I would never like to attempt. And all your stuff is ridiculous. The truth is, this is the only part I can play maybe in all of the Sondheim canon, and I'm doing it. So this is it. I've really
also
peaked.
Madame Armfeld, because she leaps out of that wheelchair. Okay, so my idea was, because I've always wanted to do this whenever I do a show, I always want to sort of like have a hat and then pick out roles. So I would love to do a little bit of opening doors a cappella. And Jonathan, I would love for you to do Linz. Linz, you can do Charlie. And sorry, Daniel, he had first dibs. You have to do Jonathan. And we can go right from I finished the one act, and let's see who remembers what.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, right now I finished the one act. So that's you, Lindsay. Lindsay's Charlie. 5, 6, 1,
Not in
2,
tempo.
go.
I finished the one act.
I've got an audition.
That's how quick I started the story.
Let me try it. Not
Okay,
just the first one.
5, 6, A 5, 6, 7, 8.
I finished the one act.
I got an audition.
I started the story.
Rehearsal pianist.
So where are we eating?
The reboot of Playboy. Yes.
The publisher called me.
I'm doing a rewrite.
My parents.
My parents.
Oh, wait, we're out of
My
order.
parents are coming.
Yes, we're right. My parents are coming.
I saw them.
I rewrote the rewrite.
No, my
We're gonna
parents
go
are
on. My
coming.
parents
I
are
saw
coming.
my fair.
Mary?
Can I sing like it was?
No, dear. My parents are coming. A 5, 6, Jonathan.
My parents are coming.
I saw my fair lady, right?
Yes.
Oh.
5, 6, focus.
My parents are coming.
I saw my fair lady.
I rewrote the rewrite
I sort of enjoyed it.
throughout the
Story.
I threw.
I threw out the story.
I'm meeting an agent.
Well,
We're all together on Sunday.
Opening doors.
Sorry,
So
see,
sorry.
we
That
don't
was
know.
my bad. I was terrible.
Okay, well, guess what? Here's the second verse.
Wait, it's gonna be
No.
so interesting.
Oh, Lindsay. I
do
put
this
it in a
all-
low key for you, dear.
I do this all day.
I called the producer is Frank, so you're Frank.
Okay.
A 5, 6, 7, 8.
I called a producer.
I sent off.
Okay, send off the one act. I started the story.
I started the story.
Yep. He sent it.
He said to come see him.
Yes.
God,
I
don't-
dropped
Sent
out
to
of
come see-
college.
Yes. I met this.
I met this musician.
Yeah.
We're playing a nightclb.
I'm doing a
I
rewrite.
threw out the
doing my
I do
musician.
my one act and it's a modulation,
I'm
dear.
doing my one act.
Thank you.
I do that?
No,
I know you do that.
I'm working for Red Book.
I'm working for Red Book.
Thank you for filming this,
I rewrote
everybody.
the
This needs to go ASAP on Insta. I think the three of you could have done a much better job. Am I
We
correct?
don't. We can't listen to each other or we're effed. I'm telling you, like I can't know what they're doing. I can
thought
only
acting
know my
is
beat.
listening.
Not in that moment.
in
We're not in
opening
the
doors.
same room.
Just want to clarify.
I literally, you cannot. If you're like, oh, Dan sounded good. Bye. There went your line. Like you cannot listen to either of them. You can only know your own lines. I'm telling you, you'll be screwed.
That was fun, though. I enjoyed that.
You were good.
Yeah, Dan.
No, Lindsay was...
We could do that at we should do it at Easter Bonnet. I'm just saying, start practicing. Am I right? Start practicing. All right, so in conclusion, we're talking about this amazing album. Has anyone actually listened to the whole album? Was everyone's too wigged out?
Yeah.
Chris, even Chris? Really? All that great belting?
No.
Reg, you haven't listened to the 8 bars?
I just took my turntable out of storage.
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, so in conclusion, we're gonna close with Opening Doors, which I'm so obsessed with. You guys, this was so fun. Lindsay, I'm sorry you can't do the Tonight Show. I know your voice is out, but brava.
Thank you so much.
At this performance. Audience, so first of all, thank you, Sony, for the album and for having us here, for sponsoring this whole thing.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, SiriusXM. Thank you, Polk and Company. Thank you, Julie James, for all the emails. And thank you guys for coming in on your afternoon off. I so
thank you,
appreciate it.
Seth.
Thank you, Seth.